book before bed. Tonight, we read The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. We are given this life only once, and never again. So let it be light in your hands, and let yourself be tender, with the one unrepeatable draft you are living. So let yourself grow heavy now. The day is finished. Whatever it asked of you, whatever you carried through it, you can set it down at the edge of the bed and leave it there until morning. There is nothing left to decide tonight. Let your breath slow, in and out. Feel the soft weight of your body sinking into the bed, the warmth of the blanket, the quiet of the room gathering around you like dusk. And as it settles, let me sit beside you in the dark and tell you gently about a book that is not really about a story at all, but about something we all secretly wonder, whether our lives are heavy or light, and whether that one strange fact that we only live once is a sorrow or a quiet kind of mercy. All day, in small ways, we feel the weight of things, the weight of a choice we made years ago and can never unmake, the weight of the word we wish we had not said, the weight of wondering whether we are living the right life, loving the right person, walking the right road when there is no second road to compare it to. We lie awake sometimes, turning a single decision over and over, as if by thinking hard enough, we could finally know whether we got it right. And then, on other nights, we feel something stranger. Not weight, but a kind of lightness that frightens us. The dizzying sense that nothing we do leaves a permanent mark. That the years pass, and the moments slip away, and we cannot hold a single one of them still. That we are drifting, light as a feather, with nothing solid beneath us, and no way ever to do any of it again. So tonight, let us hold both of those feelings, gently, in the dark, because this book lives exactly there, in the strange country between weight and lightness. And it does not try to solve the riddle for you. It only sits with you in it, kindly, and helps you breathe. Let me tell you a little about the man who wrote this book. His name was Milan Kundera. He was born in a city called Brno, in a country that was then called Czechoslovakia, a small country in the heart of Europe. He grew up loving music. His father was a pianist, and you can hear that in the way he writes. His books move like music. A theme is played and set down and returned to later, softened and changed. But his life was marked early by something hard. He lived under a government that did not allow people to speak freely, that watched and listened and decided which thoughts were permitted. And when, as a young writer, he hoped for a gentler, more open world, that hope was crushed. Soldiers and tanks came. The brief, bright spring of freedom his country had tasted was over. And slowly, his books were taken from the shelves. His name was erased. It became impossible, at last, to live there at all. So in his 40s, he left. He went to France and made a new home there, in a new language, among new streets, an exile, a man who could not go back to the place that had made him. And it was there, years later, in that quiet life far from home, that he wrote this book in 1984, a book soaked in longing for a country he had lost, and yet somehow not bitter, not heavy with hatred, tender instead. curious, full of a gentle wondering about what it means to be a person at all, to love, to choose, to grow old, and to do all of it only once. That is the seed of this book. A man far from home, turning loss into questions, and questions into something almost like peace. He did not write to scold the world or to teach it a lesson. He wrote, "You feel the way a person hums to themselves in an empty room, to keep something tender alive, a way of carrying his lost home with him, not as a wound, but as a music he could still hear." And perhaps that is why the book feels so gentle, even when it touches sorrow. It was written by someone who had already lost a great deal, and who had learned slowly that you cannot hold anything forever. Not a country, not a love, not a single golden afternoon. And that knowing, instead of making him bitter, seemed to make him soft, made him look at small, fleeting, ordinary things and find them almost unbearably precious, precisely because they would not last. So let us begin with the question that opens the whole book, the one that everything else grows from. Is it better for a life to be heavy or light? It sounds like a strange thing to ask, but sit with it a moment. Imagine that every choice you ever made would return to you again and again, forever. That you would live this exact night, in this exact bed, an endless number of times. If that were true, every small decision would carry enormous weight. You would have to choose so carefully, knowing you must live with it eternally. That is one way to imagine a life. Heavy, pressed down by meaning, where everything matters completely, because everything lasts. But our lives are not like that. We live each moment only once. It comes, and it is gone, and it never comes again. And so, in a way, nothing presses down on us with that eternal weight. Our choices are light, frighteningly light. They flash by and vanish and leave no permanent groove in the world. And here is the tender knot at the center of the book. We long for weight. We want our lives to matter, to be solid, to mean something that lasts. And yet weight can crush us, and we long for lightness, to be free, unburdened, able to drift. And yet lightness can leave us feeling that nothing we do is real. The heaviest burden and the lightest freedom are both, in their own way, almost unbearable. And most of us spend our whole lives swaying gently between them. Think of how this plays out in the small hours. On the heavy nights, you feel the weight of everything, every responsibility, every person who depends on you, every promise, every duty, every choice pressing down on your chest until you can hardly breathe. And you long then for lightness, to put it all down, to float free of it. But then, on the light nights, you feel the other thing, that nothing is holding you, that you could drift anywhere, and it would not matter, and no one would notice. And you long suddenly for weight again, for something solid to belong to, for a burden even, because a burden, at least, means you matter to something. That is the strange dance the book watches so closely. We are pulled toward weight when we are light, and toward lightness when we are heavy, always reaching for the thing we do not have. And the book does not ask you to choose, once and for all, between them. It asks something kinder. It asks you to notice the dance, and to be gentle with yourself for dancing it. Because this swaying back and forth between wanting to matter and wanting to be free is simply what it feels like. to be alive. Now let us sit with the idea at the very heart of it. The title is whispering. An old phrase from an old language that the book turns over like a stone in the hand. Once is never. There is a saying that goes something like this: that what happens only one single time might as well not have happened at all. If you live something once, and only once, how can you ever truly weigh it? You cannot lay it beside the other lives you did not live. You cannot run the experiment again and choose differently and see. You only get the one pass, one rehearsal that is also the only performance, a first draft that is also the final one. And at first, this can feel like a sorrow. We want our days to count. We want to know we are doing it right. And here is this quiet, unsettling truth that we will never know, that we are always choosing in the dark, without a map, without a second try. But stay with me, because there is a gentleness hidden inside this too. If you only live once, then there is no perfect path you failed to find. There is no other, better life running alongside yours that you should have been living instead. There is only this one, the one you are actually in, and the pressure to get it exactly right begins slowly to loosen. Because right compared to what? There is nothing to compare it to. There is only this life happening now. So you can stop measuring. You can stop holding your one and only life up against the imaginary perfect one and finding it wanting. This is the life, this breath, this room, this quiet night is not the rehearsal for something better. It is the thing itself, and there is a strange freedom in that, a lightness that, once you stop fearing it, begins to feel almost like grace. There is an old longing the book sits beside, here. The longing for the eternal return, the dream that life might come around again, and again, forever, so that nothing we love would ever be truly lost, so that the people who leave us might come back, so that the golden afternoons might happen one more time. It is a beautiful dream, and it is also, the book quietly suggests, a way of refusing the truth, because life does not come around again. The afternoon happens once, and then it is gone. The face we love is here, and then it is not. And we can spend our whole lives grieving that, aching for the return that will never come. Or we can do the harder, gentler thing. We can turn toward the once. We can say, yes, it happens only one time, and that is exactly why I will be here for it. Fully, tenderly, with my whole heart. The flower that blooms only for a single day is not less beautiful than the one that lasts a week. It may even be more so. And your one life, your single unrepeatable pass through all of this, is not made smaller by being brief. It is made precious by it. The book does something else too, something tender. It refuses to let us forget that we are not only minds, we are bodies. We like to imagine that the real us, the soul, the self, the I, lives somewhere up behind the eyes, and that the body is just a kind of vehicle that carries the real us around. But the book gently undoes that. It reminds us that the soul and the body are not so easily pulled apart, that who you are is also this warm, breathing, aching, tender body lying here in the dark. The body that gets hungry and tired and frightened. The body that reaches out to be held. The body that will one day grow old And love, in this book, lives right there, in that delicate place where the soul and the body meet. The people in it long to love completely, faithfully, with their whole hearts. And they also feel the body wander and want and stray, and they ache in the gap between the two, between the love they mean and the restless, hungry, very human flesh that does not always obey it. There is no scolding in this, no easy lesson about who was right and who was wrong, just a deep, sad tenderness for how hard it is to be a person who loves, to want to be faithful and steady and true, while living inside a body that is soft and wanting and afraid of being alone. The book does not solve this. It simply holds it kindly, and in holding it, it forgives it. It forgives us for being so beautifully, achingly human. The book also wonders, again and again, about chance, about how strangely our lives are built, out of pure coincidence. Think of the great loves of your life, the deepest friendships, the turns that made you who you are. And then think how each of them rested on the thinnest thread of accident. If you had left the house 5 minutes later, if you had taken the other train, if 100 tiny, meaningless things had fallen differently, you would never have met the people who became your whole world. It can frighten us, this, that so much of what feels like destiny is really just chance, dressed up in meaning afterwards. But the book offers a softer way to hold it, because the people in it look at those wild coincidences, and instead of being terrified by how fragile it all is, they choose to find it beautiful. They let the chance encounters feel like fate. They let the accidents become love stories, not because the universe planned it, but because deciding to see it that way is itself an act of tenderness, a way of saying yes to the strange, unrepeatable, accidental life you actually got. And there is a deep comfort hidden in this. Because if the people and the joys of your life came to you by chance, then you do not have to feel you earned them, or deserved them, or somehow secured them by being good enough. They were given freely, out of the great, wide accident of being alive at all. And a gift is a softer thing to hold than a possession. You do not have to grip a gift so tightly. You can simply be grateful for it, for as long as it stays. So when you think tonight of the loves and the chances and the unlikely turns that made your life, try not to ask whether you deserve them. Just let them be what they are. Small, undeserved, astonishing gifts that the chaos of the world happened to hand you. And let your heart quietly say thank you. So how do we carry all of this gently into the night? The book is not a book of methods. It is a novel, a long, soft meditation. But its ideas can become quiet practices, things to let settle into the body as you drift. Let me offer you 6 of them. There is nothing to do but listen. Let them fall like leaves on still water. The first is to let your life be light. Just for tonight, set down the heavy question, whether you are living the right life, whether you chose well all those years ago. Lay that weight at the foot of the bed. You do not have to carry it into sleep. This life you are in is not a test you are failing. It is simply yours, the one you were given. And right now, in this moment, it asks nothing of you, but to be lived lightly, softly, one breath at a time. The second is to stop comparing. There is no other life running beside yours, brighter, easier, better. There is no perfect version of you that you fell short of. There is only this one, the real one, the one breathing here in the dark. So when the mind reaches for the imaginary better life, gently bring it home to this room, this quiet. This is not the rehearsal. This is the life, and it is enough. The third is to be tender toward your body. For a moment, feel it, not as a problem to fix, not as a thing that disappoints you, but as the warm, faithful creature that carried you through every single day of your life. Feel your chest rising and softening. Feel the small warmth of your hands. This body has wanted and feared and reached out to be loved, just as every body does. So be gentle with it now. Thank it. Let it rest. The fourth is to forgive the wandering heart, your own and the hearts of those you love. We are all trying to be faithful and good while living inside soft, hungry, frightened bodies. We all stray in our small ways between what we mean and what we feel, and that is not a sin to be punished. It is just the ache of being human. So let the harsh judgment go of yourself, of others, and let a quiet, weary tenderness take its place. The fifth is to bless the chance that brought you here. Think softly of one person you love and of the thin, accidental thread that brought them to you. The unlikely turn, the thing that so easily might not have happened. And instead of fearing how fragile it was, let yourself find it beautiful. Let the accident become a gift. Let the coincidence feel like grace. This is how we make a life feel meant, not by being certain it was fated, but by choosing, with love, to call it so. And the sixth is to make peace with once. This moment will happen only one time. This breath, this stillness, this soft, dark hour before sleep. It will never come again, exactly like this. And that is not a loss. That is what makes it precious. You do not need it to last forever to let it matter. You only need to be here for it, now, while it is happening. One time, fully. That is enough. That has always been enough. And now, let the practices go. Rest your attention on your breath. Don't change it. Just breathe in and breathe out. Feel your chest rise and soften. Feel your shoulders grow heavy. Feel the whole weight of the day melting down into the bed beneath you. There is nothing to weigh tonight, nothing to measure, only this slow, safe breath holding you. Now there is one more idea in this book, and it is perhaps the most surprising of all. The book gives it a particular name, a word for the great soft lie we are all tempted by. And the lie is this, that life is, or should be, clean and pretty and free of everything difficult. We are surrounded by this lie. In the glossy pictures of perfect families, in the tidy stories where everyone is happy and nothing is ever ugly or sad, in the quiet pressure to pretend that we are fine, that our lives are lovely, that nothing in us is broken or frightened or strange. It is a kind of beautiful curtain drawn over the messy, aching truth of being alive. A denial of everything inconvenient, a denial of difficulty, of decay, of the simple, hard fact that we are bodies that will one day fail, and that life is not, and was never meant to be, spotless. And the book gently warns us against falling for that curtain. Because when we demand that life be perfect and pretty, we end up unable to love the real thing, the real life, with its mess and its grief and its ordinary imperfection, the crumbs on the table, the unmade bed, the fear we hide, the love that is complicated. When we chase the polished picture, we miss the actual breathing, imperfect life that is right here in our arms. So the deepest invitation of this whole book is also the gentlest: to let go of the perfect picture, to stop pretending, to love what is real, exactly as it is, messy and unrepeatable and brief, because the real life is the only one there is, and it is so much more tender and more precious than the spotless one we keep imagining we should have. So how do we carry this into an ordinary life, into the busy morning and the long afternoon and the plain, tired days? We carry it lightly. We stop demanding that our lives be perfect before we are allowed to enjoy them. We let the home be a little messy and love it anyway. We let ourselves be a little imperfect and rest anyway. We stop holding our one wild, accidental, unrepeatable life up against some glossy picture of how it was supposed to look, and we begin instead simply to live it. The real one, the only one. We learn to hold weight and lightness together, to care deeply about the people and the days we are given, and at the same time to hold them with open hands, knowing they pass, knowing we cannot keep them still. We love things precisely because they do not last, because they happen only once, because this exact evening, this exact face we love, this exact quiet hour will never come again. And we learn to be gentle with the choosing, to stop tormenting ourselves over whether we walked the right road when there was only ever one road, the one beneath our feet. We do our best in the dark, without a map. We choose with love, and then we let it be. And when we slip or stray or fall short of who we hope to be, we remember that we are only human, living inside soft, frightened, wanting bodies, doing the whole impossible thing for the first and only time, because that, in the end, is what this book quietly offers. Not an answer, not a rule, but a kind of permission. Permission to let your life be light, permission to stop measuring it, permission to love the real, messy, fleeting thing you are actually living, instead of grieving the perfect one you are not. So let the whole day go now. Every choice you made, every road you did not take, none of it has to be carried into sleep. You are not behind. You are not living the wrong life. You are simply a person resting at the end of a long day, living your one life, exactly where you are. So let me leave you with one last simple practice. Gently set down every thought about this book, every question about weight and lightness and the road not taken. Let them drift away like clouds, and let there be only this. Feel your breath. Notice it moving, all on its own, without any effort from you. In and out. Slow and deep. This breath is happening only once, exactly like this, and it will never come again. And that is what makes it so quietly beautiful. So just be here for it. Now, listen to the sounds of the night. Maybe a car, far away. Maybe the soft hum of the house. Maybe just a deep, warm silence, wrapping itself around you. And feel your body now, held by the bed beneath you, tenderly supported, warm and heavy. Let your jaw soften, Let your hands open. Let every muscle that carried you faithfully through this single, unrepeatable day finally lay its burden down. In this moment, there is nothing to weigh, no road to second guess, no perfect life to chase. There is no past, no future, only now, only you, here, breathing, resting, light. Tomorrow, the heavy questions will rise again. And that is all right. Don't carry them tonight. Just breathe and notice, and let your life be light in your hands, one day at a time, one breath at a time, this once, which is the only once there is. Good night. Thank you for being here with me tonight. May you rest in the quiet of this moment and find your way back to the peace inside you. I'll see you with the next book